Are significant numbers of humanity the product of an ancient and advanced alien civilization? Have we, across the millennia, been periodically modified and refined as a species? In short, has our genetic makeup been manipulated by otherworldly beings that view human civilization as one big lab experiment? These are a controversial and thought-provoking questions. They are also questions that demand answers. Answers that may very well be found by examining those people whose blood type is Rh negative. The vast majority of humankind, in fact, 85 to 90%, is Rh positive. This means a person's red blood cells contain an antigen directly connected to the rhesus monkey. This antigen is known as the Rh factor. Each and every primate on the planet has this antigen, except for one. The remaining 10 to 15% of humans, if the theory of evolution is valid, that each and every one of us is descended from ancient primates, shouldn't we all be Rh positive? Yes, we should, but we're not. The negatives are unlike the rest of us. They are different. They are the unique individuals whose bloodline may have nothing less than extraterrestrial origins. In particular, we discuss the Basque people, Cro-Magnon and Neanderthal, ancient aliens, Zachariah Stitchin, the Anunnaki, genetic manipulation, hybrids, military abductions, black helicopters, black-eyed children, and we want to give all the credit to Nick Redfern. This is an excerpt from his book, Bloodline of the Gods.
Yes, and Nick Redfern is a really knowledgeable. He's a cool guy. I mean,
He definitely gets a lot of credit.
Yeah, well, he does a lot of research, and he covers a lot of. He's kind of like Graham Hancock. He covers a lot of information, and I'm not necessarily saying that I agree with everything that he says, but some of it I do find feasible, and therefore it is possible. And when you get right down to it,
it's been instrumental in even bringing this subject to light. In fact, so
yes, and he has really moved. Well, he's really spread a lot of good. Yeah, a lot of knowledge, and has helped a lot of people.
I have a feeling people out there, good people too, it's like, and even it's allowed because they think, we're absolute dumb shits. They give us, half the story, or most of the story with that little bit of false, but there's always a code. You know what I mean? For those that can crack it. For those that have eyes.
Right.
For those that hear.
Right.
So.
Absolutely. And that's, yeah. But, there's many people that say, well, you're, the Rh negative blood type is a mutation. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Your blood type would be the last thing to mutate. I mean, we're talking, many people died in the Civil War because they were given the wrong blood. I mean, it wasn't known at that time, and you go into shock, you die. It's a fact.
Hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, blood type, you 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 do not give someone the wrong blood type. And there was one of our YouTube listeners. She said that she was in the hospital, and they started giving her. They were going to give her the wrong blood, and she pointed it out, and the nurses, caught it. But if she hadn't pointed it out, she would be dead. I mean, so
What did they give her?
well, it wasn't her blood type. I think I think
I
she
mean,
was
there's a lot.
O. I think she was O negative. So O negative would be the only blood type she could take.
Oh, you got you. Yeah. Of course.
So they would have killed her. She would have died.
The O negative can give blood to everybody and only can take it from 6% of the world. You know?
Right. Something like that. I've
That's a, isn't that weird if it would like represent how many true givers or saints were on the planet? You know, they talked about the 144,000. You know, you talked about this. This is when I go to imaginary land, you know, in my dreams, you know, where kids go to Peter Pan or adults go to Peter Pan land. You know, I have a dream.
right.
But anyway.
Yeah. Your blood is your life, and that's something that has been known for millennia. I mean,
Yeah.
the Bible says, just as plain as day, it says the life is in the blood, and I personally believe that it really means the life is in the DNA, which is in your blood. So,
Yeah, well, unfortunately, your DNA isn't about everything. That means we're screwed.
well,
Even remember Madonna at all her concerts trying to making sure she cleaned up all her DNA. But, yeah, she actually did. It was funny. But, you know, but you think about how much DNA, where we go, what can't go here, don't go there. You know what I mean? You can't go pee when you're if you're traveling someplace in a diner. You know what I mean? Or I guess they have to make a whole separate life. I
right,
guess which they do really, right? Because like, how much of the world is barred off to us? Is that actually are we, allowed to habitate on versus what there is?
right.
That's a good question. But yes, bloodlines. You know, where are they? Where did they come from? Where did we come from? Why are we here?
Exactly, and that's the show's title tonight. RH negative, bloodline of the gods. Is it in fact a bloodline of the gods? And I'm not talking about big G. I'm talking about the little G's. Are
Those that came from above, aliens.
the what's termed the Anunnaki, those who from, I believe it's heaven to earth fell or something like that, which would be the Nephilim. Those that Nephilim means the fallen. Hey, April, long time no see. Glad you're here. Um, yes, very glad you're here.
Oh, hello
April,
everybody.
meet
I was reading and I
meet
didn't even go.
meet Sue Ellen. April
Hi.
is
Hi,
hey Elaine. April
non-freaking.
is one of our YouTube listeners. So yes, yes,
Right.
yes. Yeah. Well, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well, Elaine. But anyway,
And I'm hoping I have a friend named Craig. I hope is going to be joining us or listening tonight.
yes. And Craig, if you're listening, just hey, join us. Join us on the live chat. Be glad to have you.
Hi, Elaine. Now I'm on. Mhm.
Anyway, well, everybody is saying hello to everybody else. We're going to take a short break and allow the listeners who want to join our live chat to do so. Just dive in. I mean, and even if you don't agree with theories, and that's just it. It's theories. We are not saying this is truth. We're not saying this is fact. I mean, trust me,
Yeah,
we
when
don't
you're
have the tester where we go out and prove that this is the absolute truth. We're just throwing
we just
theories out
want
there.
to know, but we want to know. We want to find out why we're here, what's going on, and so we're bringing up everything we know. And if we put it all together, we might be able to figure it out.
Right, and please participate. I mean, the more people that participate, we bounce ideas, we bounce theories off of each other. It's kind of like mirrors. The you
Oh, don't
you
talk about that more.
it's a reflection, and it reflects back, and this is the way I see it. It reflects back and forth, and each time it gets stronger. So that's and who knows? Who knows? We
More
might.
faces in the mirror.
What now?
More people in the mirror.
Well, yeah, more reflection,
Yeah.
more perspectives, and I think that that's what it's all about, is perspectives. And I know that Elaine has some awesome perspectives, ideas that really gets me thinking, and April too. So April, especially with the RH negative, she's that's her forte, is RH negative. So
Ooh.
yeah, she's
I'd love to hear.
well.
And she has your also tarot as well, right?
What now?
Tarot as well.
I'm not sure about that, but
I thought that maybe that was somebody else.
yeah, I think that's somebody else. I don't know, but she said yes. Well, I don't know if she said yes to what you said or whatever, because there is
and astrology. I think you said astrology for sure. Yeah, right.
That's someone else.
Okay, yeah.
April might, but that's actually someone else.
Gotcha.
But anyway, I'm going to take a short break. We will be back in 3 minutes, so get something to drink and get comfortable, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, and we'll be right back.
I don't really need a new friend, so spend your time with me. Looking for someone who can play, though. Wanna hang with me? I'm not really looking for a friend, so spend your time with me. Looking for someone not afraid to give it all to me. Get next to me, get next to me. All that I want is to get next to you, get next to you. Not asking for much, but it feels like the two of us are golden, or gold, you see. We'll do you good, so take a chance to
Okay, and we're back. Anyway, with the tarot, it gets a bad rap. I mean, and that's fine. I mean, I'm not here to promote it. I'm not
But
here.
but really,
I'm not
but it
against
really
it.
is a journey.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying that it's like the I Ching.
Mhm.
It's your own subconscious that is doing it. I mean,
Hey,
um,
baby, we're 99% empty space. We could fill it up with what we want if we just learn how to.
hey Patricia,
Hi,
thanks
Patricia.
for being here. Um, so yeah, that's we have a good turnout tonight with I think
Yeah, it'd be nice to get everybody's perspective.
with and yeah, very very good perspectives too. I have a good track record.
with some with some strong ladies.
hmm um,
Poor poor Shane.
Jacob needs to show up, kind of help me out here.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
but anyway,
And Craig.
yeah. Those of you that are listening and haven't joined the live chat, dive in. We're we would love to,
And hit
have you.
like, share, subscribe. Mm.
Absolutely. Um, but what are your views on the RH negative? I mean, I know that Patricia is. I know April is. I know that Sue Ellen is, and I know that Elaine has the Rh negative recessive genes, and that's what that's what I say. That's what I believe is that I have met many people that I was for certain they were Rh negative because I mean
Mhm.
they just fit the bill, and they're like, no, I'm Rh positive. Like Elaine, she threw me a curveball, and I'm thinking, no, she's got to be Rh negative. She says, no, I'm Rh positive, and I'm like, okay. So I looked into it, and there are people who are Rh positive who carry the recessive genes, and they had to receive those genes, one from each parent. So, and in my opinion, they're just like
Well,
just like Rh
that's when
negatives.
you're yeah, that's when you're creating a baby, but you can just pass it down. They could be in your genes from you can both of them can get them from their mom.
Yes,
Just
hello
pass it down.
everyone. But yeah, that is interesting to say the least. But this is something that goes back a a long time in history. I mean, we're talking thousands and thousands of years, and the Rh negative blood type seemingly appeared overnight in the course of history about 35,000 years ago, and it's like boom, it was here. It was like one day everyone was Rh positive, and then overnight it's boom, and it's just here. So how do you
And it
explain that?
opened up many new theories because they always said that we came from southern Africa, but it showed when they discovered the people in the Basque region of Spain who have a 35% rate of Rh negatives that are there. And they have a language that nobody can identify.
That's right.
It's not tied to anything known on the planet. They have colleges here in Nevada that are dedicated to that, and even
Yes,
talk about
absolutely.
them belonging to the lost Atlantis, the people of lost Atlantis. It's really
Excuse me.
very interesting.
Oh man,
So,
I'm so glad you brought that up.
yeah, you
Trust
have
me,
to.
trust me. I have studied the Basque people, and I was surprised that there's a whole group, there's a whole research group on just the Basque people there in Nevada. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
and yeah, here near Las Vegas, University of Nevada, and then you said there was another place in Nevada as well. I thought what I wasn't aware of.
um, I don't know. I've slept since then. But um, there
It'll
there definitely one place that I've been told to stay away from. Um, uh, Patricia, she says, "Gasp, Sue Ellen, you're from Nevada. That's so close to me."
Well, not from there. I'm I'm a Cali girl.
But she lives in Nevada. So, Elaine, you say my
Yeah,
ex-boyfriend is half Basque, half
Las Vegas.
Italian. Um, well, was he different? I mean,
Or just-
um, close enough.
yeah.
Yeah, I I wish I lived close to Patricia, so I could so she could be my I don't know, she could be my mini me. No, I'm kidding. That'd be horrible. The world the world would not exist if there was a mini me. That's why I never had children. Just in case you're wondering. It's like, that just can't happen. So, anyway, um, but
We'll go into that later in this segment.
yeah, but so there's many theories out there as far as I mean, they're talking about people with RH negative. Yeah, right. I forgot you were so short. I mean, I'm not being mean, but you're what, 4'9", 4'10", 4'9"? Um,
It will make me feel tall.
yeah. Of course, I like short girls. I mean, I like tall girls too, but short girls. I mean, nothing wrong with them. But you have somebody like Vern Troyer running around. Yeah, I'm not gonna
Guess you
lie.
got to
That would
do with
be
talking. I guess you got to
4'11".
do with talking at first before you decide.
Yeah, 4'11". Okay. Well, that's that
Ooh,
is.
411. Cute.
She says, "Wait, how tall are you, Sue Ellen?"
5'3".
Well, one thing about the different traits of Rh negatives, and we'll talk about the physical traits first. One is that many are born or have an extra vertebrae. Okay.
Hi.
April, she says she's 5'3". Man, y'all are making me feel like a giant. So, I'm 5'10".
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, 5'9", well, no, 5'10", but 6'6" when you add in my attitude. So, I'm covered.
Well, believe me, those people are a pain in the ass.
Mona says, she says, I don't know if this is happening to anyone else, but I get a lot of pauses when you're all speaking. This happened last time with Mona saying that. Okay,
Yeah.
is this something that people are experiencing, the pauses? Just let me know, and I'll see what I can do about it. This is we were having a big echo when we were. Okay, April, you say everything's good on your end. Mona, you might want to reboot your phone
Once you reboot it, yeah.
or
That's
your
right.
computer. No one else has complained, so thanks a lot, Mona. I'm kidding.
Oh, Patricia says she is experiencing a lag.
Almost like a lag or something. Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
is it when I'm speaking? Because there is a lag time. It's like a 10-second, 8 to 10-second lag time. But I just now turned off 2 filters, so that should help. Let me go into it here. Oh, okay. You were asking Mona. Let me see. I thought I turned those off, but yes, I did. I turned that off, so there should not be a problem now. Okay, mostly for Sue Ellen to respond, but that's it, and I know that happens. Yeah, there's a lag time of like 3 seconds with her. So okay, Moni, you say both of you, and it's just a quietness, and then it picks up where you left off. Okay, that would be the noise gate, which I have turned that off. So let me see what I can do about that. Okay, I think I may have solved the problem. Let's see if I have. How's that? How is that, Mona? Is there a lag time now? When I'm speaking, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. Does that make it worse or better? And then I'm going to go to the opposite end of the spectrum. Okay, going to the opposite end. Okay, does that make it... Okay, just have it again. Okay, well, I am going to set this... Okay. Not now. Okay. Good, thank you. So, that's what it was. Okay. And it's very strange that I can have these, settings, and we're picking up a lot of feedback from you, Sue Ellen.
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Background or something, but maybe that was it. It's very strange because I can have the settings and have a really good show, very clear, crisp. And then, yes, I know. Yeah.
Again?
And
oh, wow.
that's what it sounds like. It sounds like you have eaten Cheetos with like orange crayons, and your fingers are stained, but you think that you can get it off. And it is like, I don't know what it is. I mean...
It's the spirit of my rabbit that I gave away, and the mom probably just couldn't handle it, and she ate it one night.
The sound is worse than... Okay, thank you. the sound is worse than if I, drag my teeth down a chalkboard. It makes me want to dig my eyes out with a dull spoon.
Oh,
Just
that's yeah. I can't eat crackers or real toasted bread because of that. It makes me feel like the fingers down the chalkboard,
Okay,
and that makes me think of Freddy Krueger.
right.
That scares me.
Yeah. I tell you, I just hold on. Okay, Sue Ellen, if you want to just give your theories and everything, I'm going to work on this sound. Let's see, maybe this is. Let's see. But we were okay. You're getting dead air now. Okay, maybe it's your phone because we're showing that we're booming. So,
Yeah. So we talked about that before, and but we can't have you call on the
no,
phone.
no, it's no problem. No problem, Mama. But yeah. I mean, I can have the sound set for one show, and then we start a new show, and it changes. So I'm here, working the controls and everything. So it's different with every show, believe it or not. It's not just like one setting fits all. I wish it was, but it just doesn't. But
I have a very interesting article to read about your blood type.
okay, and please put your mouth right up to the phone.
This is good.
No, try it now.
How is this?
Okay, yeah. Great.
Okay. So, Rh null blood was first described in 1961 in an Aboriginal Australian woman. Very interesting. Until then, doctors have assumed that an embryo missing all Rh blood cell antigens would not survive, let alone grow into a normal, thriving adult. By 2010, nearly 5 decades later, some 43 people with Rh null blood have been reported worldwide.
44
the
now.
real 44, the real nothing.
Yeah, see, that's just it. Is
You're the babies come to O negative.
I found out in 2003 that I'm Rh null, and that's why the doctor was so shocked. It's like he was, whoa.
43 and it's not on there.
I said, what's wrong? And he said, you just have a very rare blood type. And I said, how rare? And he said, most rare. He said, he said it's called the golden blood, and I really had no idea what he was talking about at the time, and then I found out. But I have many people that say, many people in the medical community, that you should bank your blood. I'm like, no, I'm not going to. They're like, well, if you were ever in an accident, and I'm like, you got plans for me, huh?
World, you would.
What now?
Sure. I said in any sane, confident world, anybody would advise you to bank your blood, just in case.
Well,
I mean, even O negative, something that they have to think about, because there's only 6%, and they use so much O negative on people when they could just have O positive, give to O positive, and do a lot more of that. But it seems to always be O negative they need so much. But
right.
I guess 6% is so little, but Jesus.
This there's a YouTube listener. She said that she was talking with her doctor, and she said that she told him, she said I'm thinking about donating blood, And he said, don't. He says, don't do it. And she said she thought that was very strange. And, well, I really don't think it's that strange because I told her, since she shared that with me, I told her, I said, maybe he saw something in your genetic makeup that would be alarming to someone if you did donate your blood. And that's just right off the top of my head, because that happened to me. They told me, they said they said on top of you being RH null, which is like less than 50 people out of what 7.5 billion. They said on top of that, they said it's really not your blood type that is the anomaly. They said it's your genetic makeup. They said it's even more rare than your blood type. They said, in fact, we've never seen it before. And so I was like taking a bow. I'm like, oh man, wow, just yeah.
And this caused you great trouble in your first marriage, right?
That was my second marriage.
Oh, yes. Dear God, who I'm talking to.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. She said, do you know if she was underweight, suffering from an illness, etc.? I don't know, but that's a good question. That's a good question. Maybe that would be the reason, but she didn't say she was. That would pretty well be, the doctor would definitely. Maybe he saw something. I don't know. Good question. Maybe he saw something that she had and he just didn't want to tell her, or I don't know. And I'm sure she's going to be listening, or she's probably listening now. But if you're listening, please, excuse me, please join the live chat. And if you're listening to the replay, please send me a message, because I want to talk to you, further about that. Because Patricia brought up a very, very good question. But most Rh negatives, another physical trait is they suffer from anemia, low iron, and they have because of that they have very they have sensitive stomachs, sensitive gastric. They have serious gastric problems. Usually very painful.
So maybe that's the way, so they can get our organs, so they can have stomach surgeries on us.
Well, they.
I've had my crazy experiences with doctors, so I have my right to have my little rage.
Go ahead. Go ahead. There's a woman, and I'm not going to name her name, but she is Rh negative, and she went in for hernia surgery, and they actually performed unauthorized bariatric surgery on her.
What? I know. How was that? You told me. I was like, how did that happen? What was the recourse?
But that's not the worst part. After surgery, she developed gangrene because of the bariatric surgery. That she never gave them permission to turn her stomach into the size of her thumb. And she says that she is a targeted individual, and I have to say I believe her. I believe she is. She told me And I have a few targeted individuals, and their stories, if you didn't have proof, or if you didn't know these people, you would the number one thing that they want to do is they want to make anyone that they share their story with to say, this person's crazy. And trust me, it very much seems like that they are, or they could be, until you start really, really listening, and you start putting, you start connecting the dots, and it becomes like this. It's something that you don't want to even believe. You don't even want to think about it, but it just builds and builds and builds, and one thing leads to another. She told me that that she worked at the exchange, but anyway, it was a federal job.
The stock exchange? Federal stock?
No, it was exchanges. I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me, but and she saw a lot of corruption going on, and she spoke out about it. And next thing you know,
Mm-hmm.
she sent me pictures of this infrared, well, not infrared, I'm sorry, this like a blue laser coming through her bedroom window. And I asked her, I said, well, where's it coming from? She said, well, there's a car parked outside. And she said she talked about her head, these horrible headaches. And we've talked about that. Well, she's Rh negative. O negative, I believe. Sorry. I'm not sure, because this is something that
you never told me. You never told me about the blue light.
Well, it
Ooh.
it was a blue. It was like a blue laser, and we've seen the red lasers, we've seen the green lasers. This was like a blue laser, like a very, very bright blue. And she even had like a video that she sent me about it. And
Wow.
but she said that she would go to restaurants, she'd go to fast food places, and that they would purposefully, she would order something with, say like mayonnaise, and they would just pile mustard on it. And she would order something low sodium, and they would just pour salt all over it, And she said this happened all the time, and that she was convinced that she was being, poisoned, or that they were doing things to her food, which really sounds, I'm just being honest, it does sound like someone who is suffering from extreme paranoia, but it's not, you're not paranoid if they're really after you.
Right.
You're not paranoid if they're really doing this stuff to you. And she has.
Can you imagine how many people this probably happened to, that went to like, sanitariums, got lobotomies?
Right. Because the very people that they go to, for help, for a cure, they're only treated, and I'm not so sure that the treatment isn't making it worse, because let's face it, you ask any psychiatrist, you ask any psychologist, how many of your patients have you cured? Every one of them will say none. I just treat them. Yeah, because if you cure them, then they don't come back every month or every 2 weeks for the rest of their life. And that's what I have a problem with. That's what I have a problem with, psychiatry and not so much psychology, but it's basically the same thing. Yeah, you're taking people's money. You're charging these exorbitant amounts of money. I mean, $250, $300 an hour, and hell, I mean, truthfully, if you had no conscience, would you cure someone that was paying you $300, an hour, and you had 100, 200 patients each month? I don't think so. And sorry, Patricia. Patricia, she's a psychology student, and I just put my foot in my mouth. I'm not talking about you, and I'm not talking about all psychiatrists. I'm not talking about all psychologists. Thank you, Patricia. She says you can't exactly cure a patient, though, unless you help them with coping. Well, I guess I misspoke, and I apologize for that. I guess it's my problem is with those who act like, or they say that they can offer a cure when they know damn well they can't.
Well, our whole system is set up like our health system. I mean, like when you go to a doctor, it's like going through a McDonald's drive-through. If you talk to a doctor for 2 minutes straight, it feels like an eternity. You know what I mean? And you're uncomfortable because you're just, not used to it's just bing, 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 you're in and out, with the person. So, I mean, there's no way to get any really information to get to know a patient. Then they're just going to, keep guessing and send the patient home, try something new, give them a new medicine, bing, bing, until something major happens, then do more tests, and then find something, and then hopefully it's in enough time.
Well, that's just Patricia says. Plus, the brain is a complete anomaly, so we can't truly fix the brain or specifically the mind. And she says, "Yeah, no, those guys are assholes. Sorry, no, don't be sorry. I mean, I tell it like it is, and they are. That's exactly what they are. Because if I talk to people, I counsel with people, I never tell them, hey, I can cure you, or I can make you better. I tell them, it really, we can try this. It really depends on you. It really depends on hey, Nazarene. So glad you joined us. But it's like I tell them, I tell them the truth. I'm not saying that I can, help you or make you better or heal you or anything. I can guide you.
Always.
I can, guide, and but I basically what I do is I let them talk, and then when they come to the answer, and most of the time that's what happens, and they don't even realize it, then I take them back and I'm like, say that again, what you just said, and they're like, okay, and then they have that aha moment. And they're like, thank you so much. I'm like, hey, you did it. You had it all along. You just needed a little guidance, Damn sure don't need a bunch of antipsychotic medications. They be drooling all over the place, and man, these people that are Rh negative, that's mainly who, for some reason, are the targeted individuals. They really suffer.
And why is that?
Well, they believe that we have latent powers, or we have latent abilities, or some of us have, have abilities.
Remember that? Remember that song by Sting, "I'll Be Watching You"?
Right.
I think that was about it.
Well, they can watch me all they want to. Hey, Stacy. But look up Project Oak Tree. That's a little known project that many people have never heard about. But look up Project Oak Tree, and you will find that it is not. It's not a theory. It's by the documents themselves, it's fact that the government tracks people who they believe are descendants of the Nephilim, believe it or not. The Nephilim, the angels that the watchers that fell from their estate. They were born of spirit, and they incarnated into human bodies and went down from Mount Hermon and supposedly took wives of all the women, all of which they chose. I guess they left out the ugly women. I don't know. I'm kidding. But it says they took wives, all of which they chose. So that means that there were some women that they didn't choose, but they had children with them, but they weren't normal children. They were hybrids. Elaine, you biblio take
Net.
CIEN, but then I don't.
Also, I believe in the book of Enoch too. They talk about that, and I think they talk about that the children were so big, like the mother's eyes.
Project Mannequin. Okay, Project Mannequin. If I'm not mistaken, that's time travel, correct, Elaine? Correct me if I'm wrong, but Project Mannequin is okay. Educateyourself.org. Okay, James Casbolt. Yes. Okay, James Casbolt is people, they talk about him, but the guy went off the deep end, and I believe he tried to kill his girlfriend or his wife. Yes, James Casbolt. Look it up. James Casbolt lost his mind, and he went like psycho, and was.
And what was his thesis? And what if that gets into voice to skull?
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. He talked too much, and bam, he. Okay, there are articles about watchers. Okay, well, James Casbolt was talking about Project Mannequin, about these time travel, and about how Rh negative, those with Rh negative blood were sought for these experiments and these projects. And he talked about the Watchers, the Nephilim, and he also talked about Project Oak Tree, which he said that the government tracked the Rh negatives because they believed that that in their DNA that they had Watcher DNA, alien DNA, lack of a better term. But then I read James Casbolt served time in prison because he went psycho, and I'm thinking about all the shows that we've done on targeted individuals, mind control, and how that works, and I'm thinking, wow, this is crazy. I mean, they got to him or something, And let me find the article about James Casbolt, and how he let's see. Let's see here.
Oh, he's in the Bases project.
Am I?
He's
okay?
there, and
Sentenced.
it says James Casbolt sentenced to 12 years.
Yes, for terrorizing his ex-wife. We revealed the story, and he even took pictures. And I mean, this guy, this is a big guy. I mean, he's really a big, muscular, like you can kind of tell this guy knows somewhat how to handle himself. And
he looks military.
But he, it says man jailed after using explicit images of ex-wife in a £2 million blackmail bid. And this was in 2015. I had no idea. Of course, I don't keep up with James Casbolt, but I do know who James Casbolt is. And it says a British man who married the daughter of an American billionaire, I didn't know that, has been jailed for 12 years after plotting to extort £2 million from the family by posting sexually explicit photos of her online. James Casbolt, 37, from Cornwall, demanded the sum in exchange for not sharing, but he was taking pictures holding a rifle or shotgun and just really weird stuff, I mean, that was just, I mean, definitely a break from what he, like I said, I don't know the guy, but...
So I guess when he was 15-year-old, he had a offense for failed gun robbery at a Spar supermarket in Caribous Bay.
I read that. Thank you for bringing that up, because I forgot about that. Yeah, so this guy had a history of, like extreme propensity towards violence and, just not a good guy that he portrayed himself to be. So, but I have looked up some of the things he talked about, and there was a Project Oak Tree.
Questions about how he was able to join the Army in the first place.
Thank you, Stacy. And that Alpha STEM machine, we definitely need to do a show on that, but I appreciate that. And then there was a man. There was I believe this guy was a journalist, or Max Spears, and he spoke out against James Casbolt and a lot of others, and the guy wound up dead. Like, he says moments before his recent death, Max Spears would tell his mom, "If anything happens to me, investigate." Spears believed he was being targeted by a cult trying to deprogram him for his sensitive knowledge, and soon after, Spears would suffer from major intestinal trauma, vomit blackened blood, and ultimately die in July of 2016 in Warsaw, Poland. Now, what did we talk about on the show about how they can use sound waves to liquefy your internal organs? How they can disrupt your internal organs.
Yeah, just depending on what frequency they use.
Right. Well, it sounds to me like that this guy, major intestinal trauma, he was vomiting blackened blood and ultimately died.
They have many ways to get it. They could do it through radiation. They could put it in his food. You know what I mean? Put it in his drink.
Yeah. It says the case remains unsolved, but Polish authorities are currently receiving. Hey, Jacob. All right. Now I don't feel so surrounded. But it says the case remains unsolved, but Polish authorities are currently receiving autopsy results and have since started questioning the individual who called the ambulance, Monica Duval. As of February 2017, the case is currently being looked at as involuntary manslaughter, but apparently no post-mortem analysis of the body was done, and proper police procedures were not taken during attempts to resuscitate Spears. Imagine that.
Huh.
Max Spears was a noted conspiracy theorist and author whose research included UFOs and CIA mind control, as well as the belief that he himself had been programmed to be a super soldier as a child. Near the time of his death, however, Spears was specifically investigating a U.S. military pedophile ring surrounding Army officer and public Satanist Michael Aquino. Mm-hmm. This article will highlight Spears' research on U.S. military pedophile rings and mind control, as well as look more in depth into the aspects of Spears' death, including his associates. In particular, we will look at Spears' known enemy and research rival, James Casbolt, as well as Stuart Swerdlow, and their possible involvement in Spears' death. Now, I will say that Stuart Swerdlow, I don't trust the guy. I can't really tell you why. I just don't.
I think they're all slime buckets, but they're kind of like Willy Wonka's, elves.
Well,
they give you a piece. They give you a piece of the puzzle, and then pull
yes,
you in.
they give you a little bit of truth and a whole lot of lies, and they know how to mix it. And Stuart Swerdlow is, and his wife Janet, just stay away from them. I mean, stay away from their books and everything, because if you want to really lose your sanity, or damn near it, yeah, read books by Stuart Swerdlow and Janet Swerdlow, and I swear you are going. It's like reading Finnegan's Wake, and if you don't know what that is, look it up. Finnegan's Wake is probably the most the strangest book, but also the most enigmatic book ever written by James Joyce. It begins in the middle of a sentence and ends in the middle of a sentence, and nothing is what it seems. It is. I've read it, and it is a study of your subconscious, because everybody takes something different away from it, and it is crazy. But Stuart Swerdlow.
So how would you spell that for people?
Do what now? Oh,
how would
here.
you spell that for people who want to get it?
Finnegan's Wake. I will put it on the here, and I will also put it on our website.
All right. Okay. Cool.
But there's people that say, like, yeah, well, I started reading it, it made no sense. Like, yeah, that's it. It doesn't make sense to your rational, to your conscious mind. But that's because it's speaking to your subconscious. And by the way, our new website is
Finnegan's Wake.
What now?
No, I was just reading it. Finnegan's Wake.
Yeah, it's crazy. But James Joyce was a genius, because nobody could have written that wasn't. This is our domain. Texas-podcast.com. And I just started adding things to it today. It was finished this morning, officially finished this morning, and we're going to be putting pictures up and things like that. We're going to have a blog where we'll write things, and going to have videos, and a place where you can share things on the website. And after each show, I'm going to post pictures, charts, different links about what we've talked about, so everybody can have a chance to read for themselves. And there was not quite a few. There were several people on YouTube that were telling me, you need to stop. I don't know why that I always put the voice of a redneck to someone that's like mad at me or something, but I do. It's like, you need to stop pushing this stuff, because you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, okay, all right, bub,
Yeah, well, none of us really knew what we were talking about, but, at least we were trying to get there. Well, we'll talk about it.
It was so funny because, like, about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, there's April laughing. So I was going to say, I was doing a show, and we had like 13 people that were listening, but nobody wanted to join the live chat, so it was just April and myself. And there was something, I was reading something, and it said, that somebody said, I can't stand when they call me certain names and everything. And I'm like, I don't care. You can call me Bub, just call me Bub. And April just cracked up. She's like, Bub, that was just so funny. And I thought it was pretty cool, spelled backwards, spelled the same way, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, just call me Bub, yeah, that's fine. They're like, so what do I call you? And I'm like, well, Bub would be good, and they're like, well, what? It's like, people that, think that I'm like some kind of, I don't know, some kind of guru or some kind of, like, psychologist or, like, counselor or whatever, and they're like, so what do I call you? I'm like, well, you can call me Bub or, whatever. I mean, it really doesn't matter to me what you call me. I mean, don't call me sir, things like that. I mean, reminds me of my dad, so it's like, yeah, I'm not that old yet. Dad, if you're listening, which I doubt you are, just saying, Anyway, but yeah, April, that's funny. I cracked up on the show when I said that, and I saw she was like laughing so hard. Bub. I think one of the reindeer their name should be officially changed to Bub. But
Bub the red-nosed reindeer.
Yeah, Bub the red-nosed reindeer. Rudolph. Come on. We need Bub.
Rhubarb.
Yeah, and Rudolph. It wasn't that he was the brightest. I mean, come on. I'm just speaking truth. He wasn't very bright. He had a bright nose. That was it. So, Bub, yeah, that'd be my choice. Jacob says that's what Wolverine would call someone before he kicked their asses, Bub, in the comic books anyway. I have had a lot of people, I'm not kidding, I have had like several people that have literally thought, especially back whenever I was like 180, 185, they literally thought that I was that actor, that Wolverine actor. And
Which one?
live Schreiber, but I have that one, not as many, but there's been like two or three that, like, you look like Hugh Jackman. I'm like, I don't see it. But that live Schreiber is it's
Yeah, April. I have it on both.
see, April, you say, did you ever look into the letter M on a person's hand? No, but I've got it on both. You say, does it only appear on RH? I think that's what you meant.
No.
I don't know. Okay, you have it on both hands. Okay. How many people, Stacy, Jacob, do you have the M? I'm just trying to see if everyone has it, because I have it on both hands. And I would hate to say, yeah, I've got it, and then everybody else have it, and then I would be like, oh man, I'm really bub, So just want to make sure that, it's not like, skin, hey, I've got skin, well, everybody else does too. So, yeah, you're real special, man. So you're real special, bub. But yeah, I was in a Chili's one time, and all these waitresses came up and they said, we know, okay, Live Schreiber played his brother Sabretooth in the first movie. Okay, and you had, yes, the palm. Mine
is Jacob Hus.
Mine's pretty prominent on both hands. You can see it, yeah. But I was in a Chili's, and all these waitresses came up. They're like surrounding the table, and I'm with my wife at the time, and they said, we know who you are, we're not going to make a big scene. And I'm like, what? What are you talking? They said, it's okay, you don't have, we know who you are. I'm like, I don't get it, And they're like, you're Live Schreiber. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And they said, it's okay, you can tell us. And I'm thinking, okay, this is getting creepy. And they literally thought I was. And I had to show them my driver's license. I am not Live Schreiber. And so, but then again, I was like 35 pounds heavier, 35, 40 pounds heavier. So anyway, yeah, just a little, the life and times of Shane Moore, so, or AKA Bub. Anyway.
Or Live Schreiber. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, Sue Ellen. I love it. Bring it.
Who's who on YouTube?
Right.
The Truman Show, a Truman Show within a Truman Show within a Truman Show.
Yeah, I really thought I was like in the Truman Show. Weird.
Yeah. I saw that movie. I got freaked out.
Yeah. But there's a lot of truth in that movie, I believe.
Yeah,
and
that's why it freaked me out.
And now they're talking about, they get my hopes up, my dreams up. The Wachowski brothers or sisters now, they're talking about, or they have plans to remake The Matrix. But they're replacing Keanu Reeves as Neo.
Right.
No, don't do that. I mean, Come
What?
on.
No, Keanu Reeves has to be Neo. Who
I
would
know.
replace him?
I know.
Nobody.
You can, and it's somebody that I've never heard of, you know. And I'm like, no, don't do
Shane,
that.
I didn't even know. On my right, I have an I and then an M. And then I have an M on my left hand.
Oh, mine says bub. I'm kidding. Gotta have a little humor here, okay?
Bub.
Um,
Bub Light.
Jacob says, I have often thought that myself. I bet my ratings are awesome. Yeah. I mean, come on. I mean, we're legends in our own mind. I mean, I know I am. April, you know, this may become what Stacy said, the bubsorcist, you know. I don't know. Be much more entertaining, that's for sure. But not nearly as informative and educational. But anyway, so truthfully, and I really want your honest opinion, which people never have to, you know, tell me that. So I'm just saying,
Right.
you know, what are your thoughts on the Rh negative blood type? I mean, I don't care if you think it's your belief that they are from some distant planet, or if they've always been here, or if they're just regular human beings that have a different blood type. I mean, I just want to know what everyone thinks. Patricia, Stacy, Jacob, April, Lane, Nezreen. Right, no monkey blood, no rhesus, you know, factor. But what are your where do you think that they originated? Because that's unknown. That has never been explained. So, Patricia, you say something is definitely special about it, but I'm not sure how or why, but it's very differential. Yes, it is. And there's many people, many doctors, many biologists, psychologists that are beginning to say, yeah, there's something very, very different, you know.
And now on the History Channel, now that, you know, you watched that segment with me for 5 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
you know, once it's out there, it's out on, you know, the general population has seen it now. That's mainstream.
Well, the physical traits are the extra vertebrae, which often leads to spinal compression, which back pain, sometimes an extra rib, and also joint pain, autoimmune diseases, or like lupus or AS, you know, joint swellings, painful joints.
Yeah, that's probably from experiments.
Irritable bowel syndrome, that's a big one. Migraine headaches. And for me, you know, I'm just gonna, you know, I'm not being rude or anything, but I just have this knack of pissing people off. I mean, it's like I don't even try, you know, and I do. And I don't know. Does anyone else have that gift, that unique ability to? That's why I stopped going to clubs and everything a long time ago, because I would walk in, I wouldn't have to say anything. I'd be sitting down minding my own business, and I just attract just piss people off, and they, it does not lead to good. I'll tell you that. And but yeah, it's like people were just drawn to me, and they were mad, and some of them didn't even know why they were mad. They were just ticked. It's like, okay, Lee Harvey, you need to calm down, bub. It's about a 10 on the old stress-o-meter there.
Because you're a spark plug.
I guess. Patricia, you say, my manager said that some of the rude customers always seem to find me even though I'm minding my business. Like, how? There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Sue Ellen, what about you?
What do I think about it? I think it's very exciting. I think it gave me a new wonder about the world and about myself. I've always heard of groups. Everybody seems to have a group, or even, Spanish people have groups, different ethnic groups have groups, people have different chess group, but I just never seemed to fit into a group.
Mm.
And I noticed it was because there was always some kind of rules within that group that you had to follow. That was like bullshit.
Well,
and I literally remember going to this one school briefly, and me and high school students, we were debating this topic. It was really interesting.
wow, I just had this bright light just flashed in the room. Weird.
Just now?
Yeah, just this bright white light just boom, just lit the room up in just a split second. It was very strange.
Okay.
That's right, Elaine. Me too. And you're one of them.
Yeah, I know, and that's how it is. And I think, I just think because we're different kind of people, at least, and I've seen it with, I've seen the same thing with my other family members that are Rh negative. The same kind of thing.
Jacob says,
so we're definitely...
see, I'm the opposite. Even confrontational people seem to mellow out as soon as they get around me. Not me.
That's how I am. Are you O negative, Jacob?
He's like maybe an orb. Oh, April's on a roll tonight. She's cracking me up. Elaine says everyone thinks I'm a biatch and that I'm high maintenance.
Ooh.
Wow. I feel sorry for them.
You said think?
Yeah, that's what she said. Everyone thinks I'm a biatch and that I'm high maintenance. Well, I don't.
Or they know.
But, Jacob says, yep, I'm Rh negative also. Elaine, toxic men always gravitate toward me. Well, that's a common problem.
Let me ask, of the Rh negative women here, have any suffered abuse?
Physical or...
Memory loss, or any of the kind of symptoms that people relate to Rh people, and silly stuff, and and real stuff, whatever.
And if you have, that's not proof that you,
No.
But a lot do. So a lot have suffered and continue to suffer.
It's interesting that we, and now I've never met others like me to share stories.
Okay, I'm I'm having like a bub moment because I'm really not getting what the orb
Oh, what's
is.
going on, Elaine?
Nesri says, Elaine, that's because you set boundaries. People who have problems with boundaries always make you feel it's something wrong with you. Yeah. You know, yeah. Best thing, Elaine, is just shoot them. You know, I mean,
And
just
then you end up with the very ones, the boundaries you said absolutely no to.
well,
Yeah.
well, you know, think about it. And nothing against you, Nazreen, nothing against you, Elaine, but I mean, think about it. Think about what we have become. We're talking about setting boundaries. Okay, when I hear that, my mind automatically constructs this vision of a woman in a fortress. Why is she in a fortress? If you have to put yourself in a fortress behind boundaries because of the guy you're dating or the guy you're interested in, you know what? Run. End it. You don't need the guy. You don't need the jerk. You know, I mean, so these boundaries and these fortresses and these things that you have to put in place, the first time that something takes place with some jerk, you know, that gets drunk and you know, is rude to you or mistreats you or, you know, whatever. No, don't. Oh, baby, I know that, you know, you're my bub. You know, you just got drunk. You know, no, don't, don't do that. You know, just, you know. Matter of fact, don't even call them a taxi. You know, just put them in their car and say, hey, you know, no, I'm kidding. But definitely do not accept that, and don't live your life putting up boundaries or living behind boundaries, because you're always going to be on the defensive. You're never going to have a moment's rest. I mean, it's like, you know, with Mona. I mean, if I had to, you know, put up boundaries with Mona, oh man, I mean, I wouldn't be with her, you know. Well, right. Some boundaries take trust to get through, right? And that's true. That's a good point. I tend to speak what I'm thinking, but yes, make them earn your trust. And I guess that would be boundaries. But yeah, make them earn your trust. Make them earn your admiration. Don't just give it to them. Oh man, I've seen so many women and men that the person they're with, oh, they just heap all these praises on them, and oh, they can do no wrong, and they're angel. Oh, she's an angel. Yeah, she's always jumping up and down in the air, harping about something. I mean, it's like, yeah, she's an angel, all right. Or he's my dream. You know, he's your nightmare. You just, yeah. And you're gonna wake up to it. So, yeah, out, end it, cut all ties, no second chances. You know, that's where people really screw up. You give somebody a second chance like that, and they turn out to be a narcissist or a sociopath or a psychopath. Hey, you just gave them so much energy, so much motivation, and so much hope, because they are going to bleed you dry. And it will never stop because they're insatiable. It just never will. Oh man, that's crazy. If a guy tells me he loves me within a month, giant red flags. Well, if a guy tells me he loves me like one day, that's it. I mean, I'm like, no, I'm kidding. But no, really, if a guy did, I would be like, whoa, we need to talk. Um, but yeah, yeah. Don't just don't just heap all these all this this praise and attention, and guess what? Make yourself unavailable sometimes. Don't be sitting by the phone and as soon as the guy calls, you jerk the phone up and you're like, hello. That's like, hey, my life revolves around you. I was sitting here and I was waiting on your call, and yeah. And there's guys that do that too. It's like, dude, stop it. That's not sexy. That's not attractive. Matter of fact, it's creepy. Especially if you have a cat. I mean, I'm just saying. No, I'm kidding. But yes, make yourself unavailable. Throw some curveballs and see how they react. And Elaine can tell you from her experience, yeah, if she was dating this jerk, and if he called and she was unavailable, oh man, he hit the roof. You know what? Boom. That's it. Done. No more. I don't care what he says. I don't care if I was having a bad day. You know what? You have a bad life without me. You're done. And that's a gift. Maybe it's a trait. I don't know if other arch negatives have it, but somebody, like one does something to me that I'm dating, I can walk out of her life and never see her ever again, and never look back. So
that I never looking back is a trait.
Well, I've told many, look, if this ends, if you do something or you walk away or you do something where I walk away, you'll never see me again. You'll never hear from me again. And they're like, well, we can still be friends, right? Wrong. We can't. No, because I don't want to see someone that I was involved with and that I had feelings for that, basically ripped my heart out and, hurt me. No.
Of course, nobody would, of course. But everybody has their different story, and their different reasonings and their different ways that they grew up and their different ways of handling things. So
look at this. Let's see, Patricia, Jesus, my boyfriend told me he loved me within a week of meeting me. What? Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, and then Elaine, yep, the narcissist. Where are you? Send me a pic. Who are you with? Do this with your hand in the pic so I know you didn't take it before. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, man. I wish I could have been Elaine's voice with this jerkwad. Oh, gosh, that is it. Yeah. Dude even hired a private detective. He's dating her. Well, he wasn't even dating her then. Private detective, yes.
He did on her?
Yeah.
Huh.
Went to where she lives, and yeah, crazy. I mean, crazy. Yeah, they always come back. Well, they can come back all they want to, but when the door's closed, they can come back, but yeah, they're not going to get in. I have had women that I have ended it with, and or that have done things, you know, and I'm like, I'm done, you know. And then they call incessantly, or remember the good times we had? No, I don't. I don't remember the good times. All I remember is what you did and how you acted, and that's why
That's why we're not together.
yeah, that's why that you are out of my life and you're not coming back. But anyway, that's crazy. My ex would follow me to work. Oh my God.
Really?
Fatal attraction. Wow. That's crazy.
Well, you know, that's the number one way that cops get killed. It's from domestic disputes. The cops go in there to help the female, and then the female attacks the cop
Mm-hmm.
when he's trying to help her. She tries to protect her, you know, her guy or her significant other.
Tries to protect her abuser.
Mm-hmm. Abuser.
Yeah, so, but, yeah, that's definitely a very, very dangerous, especially with Elaine. I mean, he called on a new phone, showed up unexpectedly at my door. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that is crazy.
On a new phone, too.
And this guy was just someone she was dating. I mean, you know, they, yeah. If you are dating someone who automatically shows signs that they want to control you, or they believe they control you, or they want to control you, or they're trying to control you, end it. Then don't even try to understand it, because you will never understand it. This is it. They're doing it because they can't control themselves. And they accuse you of doing the very things they're doing. Elaine, you know that.
That's a big...
This creep would leave for 2 weeks. She wouldn't see him, and then he would like pop back in and say, "Hey, I'm back." I told her, I said, yeah. I said, he got through with all of his other women. And I said, they probably kicked his ass. You know, they probably found out what a jerk he was. They kicked his ass out, so he's come back to you. And I said, don't do it. Do not do it. And it's like, well, thank you, Patricia. Truth is truth. And I really hope that the guy is like, you know, gets curb checked. Like, really, I wish it was me doing it, because people like that desperately need to be. Jacob says it was an abusive relationship, all right, only I wasn't the abuser. Yep, it happens. It happens. But anyway, we...
Now, how do you... It all relates to being RH negative. Traits of RH negative people.
Yeah, well, there's most that I have, you know, talked to, they have been in narcissistic relationships. Jacob says she knew I wouldn't hit her back. I've never hit a woman, but I had this girlfriend that came at me with like a small lamp stand that was like a club, and she drew it back, and she
Wow.
had these psychotic eyes, and being a boxer, it was just instinct. I didn't punch her, but I slapped her twice in the face before she could swing that lamp. And she had it drawn back. She was about to swing, and I slapped her twice, and she dropped it and came back to her senses. And yeah, if I hadn't have slapped her, she would have probably put that through my skull. And I didn't slap her hard. I slapped her hard enough to bring her back to reality. You know,
Yeah,
you don't hit
the
Shane
whole-
in the head with a lamp, you know.
Yeah.
And
You know, I think that, yeah, that's why, like Kathy O'Brien said, that they had to actually do things, right, to RH negatives to make them more controllable. They would actually damage their frontal lobe. They would sustain some kind of head injury.
right. And with me, that was, man, my mom. She can tell you. And we were in the we were in the ER almost every weekend. I mean, and I don't know. It was always I fell or I was just you know, I was accident prone. I don't know,
Right.
but yeah, I've had my fair share of concussions and head injuries.
What, do you remember your first one?
Mm, not really. Not really. I do remember falling sometimes. I mean, or you know,
Mine was
tripping.
The second one after the one for my father and the kickback of the gun was my sister while I was on a skateboard getting really mad and pulling it out from under me. And that knocked me out. But that was scary.
Oh man, that is. That,
Mm-hmm.
Man, talk about that's a lot of force. Patricia says, unfortunately, a lot of these cases seem to show that you do need to protect yourself. Then the abuser exaggerates the situation. I admit I slapped my abusive ex because he wouldn't listen to me or would just fight with me over the smallest things, but it was for survival. Yeah, I wouldn't, you know, recommend slapping anyone. I mean, because a lot of guys, you know, probably, you know, you slap them, they knock your teeth out. I mean, nowadays, you know, it's not.
Nowadays, it used to be a normal thing for a woman to slap a guy in the face.
Yeah. Jacob says, "Oh yeah, I have a titanium plate in my head and frontal lobe damage." There you go.
No. Wow. So, and I had a 45 Ruger when I was 5 years old. My dad wasn't paying attention in it, and that I know of, and I put my finger on the trigger and it cracked my head open, but he didn't want to go to the doctor. He didn't want anybody to know about it, so he never took me to the doctor.
Which is about the equivalent of hitting yourself in the head with a claw hammer. I mean,
45 Ruger, yeah.
Yeah, the kickback from that.
5 years old. 5 years old.
Yeah, 5 years old.
I was going to show you the picture. I got my photo album book. So. It's interesting when you go and you look back at yourself, you know, when things happen or you see another child, you know, that age, and it gives you perspective.
Yeah, I would like to see that. I'd like to see if there was any more like bruising or anything. Jacob says, I got hit in the head with a piece of flat stock steel. Wow. I know that hurt.
Who did it? Jacob? What's going on?
I don't know if anybody did it. Might just been an accident, but somebody might have. I don't know.
Well, that's what I want to find out. That's the reporter in me still. I gotta, I want to find out the details.
Right. Lane says the narc knew I have a gun and know how to use it. Showed him my target practice sheet, and we are all alive and still going strong.
Oh,
That's right.
I was a sharpshooter in the Army. One shot, one kill.
No. They hit.
Oh, look, they were hiding. Look, they hit him walking out of a privacy fence. They were hiding in the dark waiting for me. So you don't even know who they were, Jacob?
Oh, wow. Man. Well, I'm glad to know I'm not the only one that's dated psychos. But I will say something, this has been my experience. Guys get mad. Guys get mad at guys. And, we may really, really, it may come to blows, but an hour later, we're laughing, we're, friends. A woman get mad at you. Oh, my God. It's like the explosion of your car is just the beginning.
Well,
your car blowing up is just the beginning.
Smaller, she's less stronger. It's in the genetic.
No.
We have to puff up.
Whoa, yeah, puff up. Yeah, that's a little bit of overkill. I mean, it's like it never ends. I mean, you can run into them like 50 years later, and she might have her walker, and she's like trying to hit you with it, Yeah, crazy. I mean, not crazy, but I mean mean, like professional mean. It's like I would not want to be in the hospital and have some girl that I like really, really ticked off, or made mad come in, and me being there like 102 and she's like 98, she's standing on my oxygen hose, just smiling. That's what I'm talking about, So guys, don't watch yourself, respect the women. They'll hurt you. Well, Patricia, that's you don't deserve that. And Jacob, you said I was picking up something I shouldn't have been picking up, and it turned out to be a setup. Wow. So you knew the people.
So all of you guys, now they always say that O negatives have, or not, I'm sorry, that RH negatives have a higher propensity of being arrested, things like that. Do the RH negatives here feel like that, or do any of them have an opposite feeling where they have gotten out of things they shouldn't have gotten out of?
Well, with me, I think it's very strange that it's always a big deal when I get pulled over. Like 2 or 3 cars, and there's like officers everywhere, like up to 6 officers. And I'm thinking, what did I do? And I have no idea, why it takes so many officers when I've never been arrested. I don't have a history of violence. No idea. I am RH Null, so maybe they're like, okay, we have an alien here, so yeah.
Only 40. You're like the 45th in the world.
They're like, we got number 44 here. We got ET 44. Not sure what he's capable of, so
You better not forget. You don't want to be like, what's his name? Oh, yeah. He's one of the gods. I can't remember if he's Greek or Roman, or Yaldabaoth.
That's Jewish, actually.
Yeah, Yaldabaoth. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the Yaldabaoth is the demiurge.
Yeah, he's the one who doesn't think he has a mom or a dad.
Really, April? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, yes, like state troopers. Oh, it's like they call in the U.S. Marines. I'm like, what in the, I'm thinking, okay.
So, April, we've gotten more stops. Really interesting, too.
I'm like, and
I feel like I've gotten out of things.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to ask. April, do you get out of it? Are they nice to you? Because a lot of times they're nice to women, but let me tell you.
No, they always haven't.
With me, oh man, it's like, okay, you are the reason for every problem that I've ever had. And I got my ass kicked every day in high school, and I'm going to take everything out on you because I have a badge now. I'm like, oh, wow, I won the lottery in hell.
Oh, no.
I'm serious. And I have had them pull me over and detain me for like 2.5 hours and have me do sobriety tests and all these, all this stuff, and then tell me, well, you know what? You passed them too well.
Me too, Jacob. My mouth has always been
not always nice. Okay, why is that? I mean, I have never, I don't have, I've never been arrested. I have never,
me neither.
Had been charged with any violence. Well, I guess they're mad because I didn't get caught. I mean, it's like I'm kidding, but and I'm always nice. I'm always nice to them. I mean, I'm like, yes, sir. Even if they just started shaving that day.
The Dexorcist.
I can't stand to be pulled over by some little baby face, who just started shaving that day and who comes walking up like he's John Wayne, like, oh boy, Diaper Disco must have, got out early today, and he comes up and you're like, yeah, I need to see your, I'm like, oh brother, yeah, this is gonna be, we got Yosemite Sam here,
yeah,
in living color.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's
we went all over the place tonight, huh?
We did, but that's a big deal because our Rh negatives are now, they are really, I mean, look it up. Most targeted individuals are Rh negative.
What if a lot of our problems, Shane, though, are if we are being experimented on because we're so rare that we have those problems? A lot of those things, that stomach problems, joints, all that, those are problems that are normal.
That's right, problems. And they want to kick my ass when they pull me over? No. That doesn't work in any universe. If I'm already being experimented on, I'm already in pain, do they have to pull me over and, like, make me cry? I'm kidding.
Yeah, but they don't know anything about that. Nobody would know anything about that.
They one time I was like really young, and we got pulled over, and the cops were being like really, really rude, and everything. And they started asking everybody, where are you from? And I told them where I was from, And there's this guy that he had little man syndrome. And he's standing at the end of the line. This is all us guys, we're all friends and everything. And everybody's going, oh my God, And he's got his chest out, This dude's like a slimmer version of Danny DeVito, and he's just like bowling at the cops. And we're going, oh my God, they're going to ask him where he's from, and we know it's not going to be good, you know. And he's like, just, you can tell he's just waiting. He wants them to ask him, and he's the last little dude, you know. And they come to him, they go, where are you from? And he goes, my mother. And I'm like, oh my God, we're all dead. And those cops go, oh. Didn't know it was stand-up night. You know.
If all cops would be women, I think everything would be okay.
I don't know about that. There's some psycho women out there too.
I think we need the honorary stick.
Doesn't sound good to me. Yeah, it's like that. The baton. That motherly instinct just does not resonate with that. So.
No, I think I've worked in.
Maybe you like putting salt in a wound because, really.
I worked in mental places and hostile people coming up to you, and they always calm down with me, and I'm 5'3", nothing. So, but they responded to me because they saw that I actually cared and was paying attention to them and who they are. Well,
truthfully, I think that the problem with me now, thinking about it, is I'm very, very respectful. I'm very polite, but I'm not afraid of them. And I believe that that's it. They're pissed because I'm not like shaking. I stand my ground. I mean, I'm not, combative or anything, but I'm certainly not standing there with my head down going, yes, sir, yes, I'm, you're the great cop and I'm Bub, No, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, testosterone.
Yeah. And that's just it, is, I've got plenty, probably more than they do, so that's probably why they're ticks. So.
Yep, exactly. Anyway. If you make them laugh, they tend to chill out. Yeah.
Jacob says if you can make them laugh, they tend to chill out. No, not with me. Huh? It's like you made me laugh, and they pull out their baton.
You're a baby on the planet. You're a baby angel on the planet. So you got all that zep and that pep in you. I can do anything. And then just like the Chinese gurus in your dream, they said, slow down your horses there. That's why they surrounded you with so much feminine energy. Because to pull out that divine male energy.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, I truly believe that. I do. Elaine says, talk about crazy people coming up to you. I just worked in customer service. Oh, man. I worked directly with the public, too. And
Black Friday, you hear those stories, or just you can see on YouTube things that people have done to each other?
I have literally had people come in, and like 2 men came in and said that they were going to cut my head off and roll it down the hall, and I said, okay. And they just looked at each other because they were really not the brightest bulbs in the chandelier, and they just looked at each other like that didn't have any effect on him. And I said, so when are you going to get to cutting? And they're like, oh, what? What's wrong with you? And I said, I'm not running around saying I'm going to cut people's heads off. I said, you said it, so I said, really? I said, you guys are funny because that's my idea of a good time. I said, you trying to cut my head off. And they, and the lady at the desk behind me she freaks out. She calls 911, and I told her not to because I was really wanting to have fun with these guys. And she called 911, and when they heard the sirens, they ran out. Completely ruined my fun I was going to have. But,
Yeah, that's fun that can risk people's lives.
no, it was just us. It was just us there. And I'm like, what are you going to cut my head off with? Your nasty fingernails? I mean, what is it? Kind of like Freddy Krueger, really nasty. And this guy goes, man, I work for Subway. I'm like, yeah, I'm never eating at Subway again. You probably make the sandwiches without gloves. It's like, whoa. But anyway, yeah, that's nothing against Subway, by the way. But if you have gross hands and you're all nasty and everything, yeah, find something else to do.
And his name is probably Jared.
His name is Bub. No, I'm kidding. Anyway,
Uh-oh.
well, we are at 2 hours, so anyway.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank everybody.
We did it without a hiccup. We didn't get kicked off.
I know, isn't that great? We didn't get kicked off. Maybe we'll. What's the difference? I think nothing against you, Patricia, you, Jacob, you, Elaine. I think April might be our lucky charm because this is the first show we've had that nothing has gone wrong.
Thank you, April. Yeah.
Let's give April a hand. And because, I mean, there's always something that goes wrong, and this is the first show we've had in a long time that nothing's gone wrong. So now when I get off the show, I'm probably gonna fall over or something. And I'm kidding. No, anyway, knock on wood, absolutely, Elaine. But anyway, well, thank everyone. We thank everyone for taking part. It's been really fun tonight. And we have to really
thank you for the Patreon.
What now?
I said thanks for all the participation.
Oh, absolutely.
That was a lot of fun.
And
getting everybody.
Tricia, I always manage to fall up the stairs. Yeah, that takes some.
Have you ever fallen upstairs in a dream? That would be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, April wins the lucky charm. I mean, yeah. So, well, I've been an old soul since I was little, since I can remember. Yeah, never was really a kid. I mean, I was always, I don't know. Yeah. But go to the website. Like I said, it's in the beginning stages, but just go to it, check it out. www.texasis-podcast.com and check it out. And if you're listening but didn't take part in the chat, and you're not following us, please follow us on Spreaker and hit that like button. You can send us an email at the texasispodcast@gmail.com with show ideas, maybe your own story, maybe what you're going through, and we can talk about it. Maybe have you on the show. But anyway, Sue Ellen, do you have anything that you want to add before we sign off?
No, I thought it was a great show, a lot of fun, and it was nice talking to everybody and getting to know new people like April.
Absolutely. It always is. Anyway, love and light to everybody. We love you. Good night. We will see you next time.
Good night. Bye-bye.